county level agencies that are there and ready to help you out if you seek it.
Thank you for your presentation, and there are many agencies that has been out here. I know the regional sewer is out here at the present time. They have bought up land. Matter of fact, they just bought land over there on 123rd, and they are dealing with their sewer. Would it be more beneficial to, I don't know what the process is, but to talk to the regional sewer district, since they are, you said they're ramping up in the program, and also would you'd have to ask some our partnering communities like Cleveland Heights or Euclid to deal with us. How would that take place? What is the first step? Do we have to, I heard my law director talk about negotiations. So is that a plan that has to be put forth, or a project that has to be put forth, or where does it come from within the structure of the city? What department, like community development or service department, who handles that area?
That's a great question. A lot of cities are kind of struggling with that, and typically it ends up being the service director or the city engineer who's kind of the point person for that city's municipal stormwater program.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to partner up with your adjacent communities, essentially you have to first have those discussions with them and ensure that they're willing to take you on. It typically means that you're going to work off a common swamp plan, so you promise to do the same things that they're doing, or you're going to share resources to maybe do things more cheaply between the communities.
One more question. If East Cleveland doesn't do this, does it affect the surrounding adjacent community in a bad way, or we could just sit here, since we're talking about water period, and we're talking about swamp and all of that? Would it affect our adjacent neighbors?
If you partnered with them but did not come through with your end of the bargain, essentially? Is that what the question is?
No.
Okay.
My question is, if we don't partner with our neighbor, okay, and do our own plan, does that leave us out here with a negative water area, or what? How will that affect our benefits as far as this plan?
Well, you'd be responsible for to implement and develop your own plan into that scenario.
Yeah.
But the reason that we regulate stormwater runoff is there's a number of different negative impacts to that. The city of East Cleveland was developed at a time when all we wanted to do was get that rainfall as quickly and as fast away from us. So your city probably doesn't have hardly any stormwater management controls, such as storm sewers to collect that water and take it to the stream as fast as possible. But when we replace things that used to be on the land that would absorb the runoff and replace it with pavement, that storm water that falls from the sky, a larger percentage of that is runoff that flows into our storm sewer system that overtaxes our infrastructure, and there's of course cost and money to maintain that. As a result of that, it ends up sending that storm water to our streams more quickly with more energy, and results in degradation of habitat, increased stream erosion, which can then threaten properties that are along the stream. So there's lots of negative impacts to the stormwater. In addition, what we do on the land once we develop it, whether we mean to or not, we create pollution. Our cars drip oil, we throw trash and debris out into the street. When it rains, it all washes into our storm sewer system. And where the sewers are separate storm sewers, that washes directly to our streams and our lakes. There's really nothing there to stop that from getting in those water resources.
So, and one more thing. You said, and I'm sorry, but you said that if we negotiated and implemented this plan, we have up to 5 years to complete it. So we can be working on it if we initiate it starting, in the next year.
Do you want to follow it up with any? Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Ms. Horvitz,
Yes.
do you have a presentation to make before I
No,
ask my
I
question?
just wanted to make it clear that the city at this point is in the middle of an enforcement action
Okay.
because the MS4 program has not yet been implemented. And that's why I was talking about negotiating.
Okay.
We want to resolve the enforcement
All right,
action
okay.
without a lawsuit and without penalties and any of that stuff. So we want to talk with the city about how to do this at the least expense to the city. And Dan has explained ways that can be done, and we would like to, schedule meetings with the appropriate people, the law director and she service director and so on, and try to get this going.
I don't think we were, I don't think that we were aware that we were in a position that you have just mentioned. Is that, and why is that? If you have sent it, if you sent your information to the law director, the council has not received anything of this nature. And now you are here making a presentation and telling us that basically you're here to avoid a litigation.
Right. What has happened is, as Dan mentioned, starting in 2011, the Ohio U.S.A. has been trying to get the city to apply for a permit and start implementation of the program. The city has not been very responsive, and so in 2014, about a year ago, we sent proposed findings and orders to the mayor, and we have had no response. And so we, at the suggestion of Senator Yuko, contacted Councilman Martin. You may not remember, I talked to you months ago.
Okay.
And he suggested making a presentation to council.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're here. And this law director has been very responsive.
Go ahead.
Madam, I would like to suggest, because we kind of view this like a health and safety kind of situation,
Correct.
that with the administration, also that our chairman of health and safety be a part of the discussion so that we're in the loop. Is that okay with the council? Okay, that's Mr. Wheeler's chair.
Okay.
My question to you, Ms. Horvitz and Dan, is any municipality within this area involved doing any of this right now?
Yes.
In this area? Who?
Yes,
Tell me.
they all are.
They all are. Actually, every community in Cuyahoga County is regulated except for Highland, not Highland, one of the eastern suburbs, one of the small eastern suburbs, but every other community in
Like, for example, Cleveland High School.
Cleveland